The peace offering is one of the new offerings that's introduced in the book of Leviticus. Early in the book of Genesis, we find out there are tribute offerings, mincha. Noah offers the first ascension offering and olah after the flood. But prior to coming to Sinai, prior to what's revealed in the book of Leviticus, we don't have purification offerings, we don't have guilt offerings, and we don't have peace offerings. And the peace offering really comes into its own in the book of Leviticus. It's mentioned a couple times in Exodus, but it's mentioned some 30 times in the book of Leviticus, another 20 times in the book of Numbers. And more than just the number of times that it's mentioned, the peace offering is at the center of the whole sacrificial system. The whole sacrificial system, you could say, is a peace system. It's all about celebrating the peace that we have with God. Leviticus begins with a series of 3 offerings: the ascension offering, the tribute offering, and the peace offering. That's all in the first speech of Leviticus. And the climax of that sequence is the peace offering. That's kind of tracing the history of Israel. Israel comes up out of Egypt. They ascend out of Egypt. They have bread, the bread of heaven that's given to them. And they come to Sinai in order to make peace with God and enter into a covenant of peace with Him. Those first 3 offerings that are outlined at the beginning of Leviticus climax with a peace offering. The other offerings exist in order to maintain the peace offering. Why do you need a purification offering? You need a purification offering to ensure that the house of God remains clean and to ensure that the people of God remain clean. Why do they need to be clean? Why does the house need to be clean? Why do the people need to be clean? So they can eat in the presence of God, so they can have peace offerings. All of the other offerings are oriented to the peace offering. You have an ascension offering in order to prepare for a peace offering or a sacrifice. You have a purification offering or a compensation offering so that Israel can be restored to fellowship so they can eat, drink, and rejoice in the presence of God. The whole Levitical system is a peace system. And the peace offering is, of course, at the center of our worship as Christians. The Eucharist is the new covenant form of peace offering, which represents not just the peace that we have with God, but the full orbed shalom that we celebrate, we celebrate in the death and resurrection of Jesus. The death and resurrection of Jesus inaugurates. It includes peace with God, peace between sinners and a holy God. It also includes peace with one another, and it includes peace between human beings and the creation. Every time we celebrate the Eucharist, we're celebrating that peace. We're celebrating the shalom that has already been established by Jesus Christ, the shalom that will be fulfilled in a new heavens and new earth.